So I'm not.
All right, guys, Fuller come to you with another commentary video. This is just to show where we're at in terms of relationship dynamics with um, the Western woman, which is why you shouldn't have any relationship dynamics with the Western woman based on this video that I'm about to display. Yanni, the thing is that when the Western woman says she's tired of attracting the, as they say, the F boy, but you know what I mean by that. What she's really saying is that she is looking for a guy who can give her resources, okay, monetary resources. She's not really looking to settle down. That's the thing. She doesn't really want to settle down. In the back of her head, she still wants the F boy. But we have to understand the definition of dating. The definition of dating no longer means getting together with a woman, trying to build something with a woman, trying to establish rapport with a woman. The modern definition of dating for the modern Western woman is, what can I get out of this guy? Basically, that's what it means. Whereas for the guy who doesn't have a pot to piss in, he's able to just hook up with anybody he pleases. But let's begin.
So as you guys know, I'm pregnant. 14 weeks now.
If you're 14 weeks pregnant, like, I don't know if I would be on social media if I'm 14 weeks pregnant. I think I would be doing other things besides being on social media. I also think, instead of being dolled up with the baby bump, 14 weeks pregnant, I would be concerned with other things. But that's just me, my personal view on this.
So I'm not with the child's father.
You can tell with the hair flip and the doll up that really, in essence, what she's trying to do is solicit a sucker for resources. I mean, you have to understand something. I believe if the father of the kid wanted to be with her, he would be like, he would probably more or less be like, yo, why are you on social media? You need to be resting up instead of like dolling up for these people. Now, granted, life, you still have to live your life if you're pregnant, but just being on social media and from the looks of it, soliciting yourself, it's not really the way to go. That's the way I look at this situation as, right? And again, the guy did not want to be, the father probably had no intention on having a baby. But the way that it works now is that a guy who may be a decent guy, a guy who may be decent, a guy who may be, sincere with his intentions with a woman, that sincerity will not be reciprocated. Whereas the guy who just looks at her as like a jump off, that's the guy who she wishes was sincere with her. But he has no intention of being sincere. But let's continue on.
I mean, that's like a whole nother story. We'll get to that. But is it okay to date while pregnant? Like, I just want to know.
Um, well, I mean, ask yourself this. What would my kids say that's in my belly right now that I'm not with his father or his or her father, but yet I'm soliciting myself to other men? And what would my kids say if, when I'm delivering him or her, that there's another man that's not his or her father cutting the umbilical cord, and that kid calls him daddy anyway? Also, she needs to ask and think about, what are my kids going to think of me if I am in pursuit of just random guys instead of settling down? But at the same time, it's not random guys who she's in pursuit of, it's random resources in which she's in pursuit of. Since the baby's father is not prepared to provide those resources, or maybe has very little of those resources to provide. But let's continue.
Like, men and women, like, what's y'all take on this? Like, because, I mean, there's some wannabe stepdaddies out there.
The only people who want to be stepdaddies are the ones who basically don't have their way with women. They're basically the ones whose esteem is low. They're basically the ones who, women consider a square, losers. They're the ones who did everything right, but they weren't thuggish enough, or they weren't mean enough. They weren't gangster enough. Those are the only ones that are going to want to be stepdads. The ones who call women queens, the ones who call women goddesses, those are the only ones who are going to want to be stepdads. The Deontay's of the world, who said things like, I'll pay for your brush job even if it means my rent is not paid. Those are the guys who want to be stepdads. But guys who respect themselves and guys who want more for themselves are not going to be stepdads. On the other hand, too, the F-boys that she attracts are not going to be real dads either, because they had no intention on being real dads. She just thought that with a seed that they may be real dads. But little did she know.
But do y'all feel like it's weird? Because I kind of feel like it was weird at first. I haven't started dating yet, but I feel like it was weird at first. Like, I got a belly. You looking at me like that? Like, what does that mean? So,
yeah, we're looking at you because a guy with common sense is going to be like, okay, she's dating. Where's the father at? Like that's going to be on a guy's mind. Like, yo, she's pregnant. Where the hell is the father? The baby hasn't came out yet, and she's not with the father already. She's separated from the father before the baby even comes out, people are going to look at that and be like, huh? The heck? Usually a woman is with the father before the baby comes out. Most of the time. But you're on the dating market and you're not even with the father? You know, like what part of the game is that? Like, yeah, people are going to look at that. People are going to be like, huh? Like, how? Why ain't she with the father? You know? But yeah, let's continue.
Oh, tell me, is it okay for me to?
No, it's not okay for you to. In fact, you should slow the hell down and think about your baby, since chances are the dude you had the baby with did not want the baby, but you thought because if you had the baby that he would settle down, but he's not gonna settle down. So this is how the game is played, y'all. The way the game is played now, y'all, is that the modern Western woman will look for resources from a guy who probably has not really had any luck with women, but has resources. That guy's going to have to wine and dine him. That guy is going to have to be, she's going to say, okay, you have to take care of my kid too. And she won't be attracted to him, but she'll still take everything that he has. We've seen it over and over and over again. So the best thing for you to do is know your value, know your worth. Do not have dignity for yourself as well. Do not basically sell yourself short. What you're really going to have to do, this is what you're really going to have to do as a man. You're really going to have to put these women to the test. You're really going to have to do that. You're going to have to put these women to a test. You know, you're going to have to be like, even when you do have money, you're going to have to be like, yeah, I don't really have money right now. And if she says, that's no problem, I got you, then you may have something, okay? You have to put them to the test, different tests, okay? Different types of tests you're going to have to do. For example, let's say if you, let's say if you are involved in some kind of like charitable project and you say, you know, I got to do this. I gotta help these kids out, you know, with what they're going through, right? And if she says, you have to test her and see if she's going to be willing to help too. But if she's not willing to help or help with anything that you got going on, then cut her loose. That's just the bottom line. Don't even waste time. For example, with myself, and since I don't give Western women time, but they think, some Western women think that they're going to make time, you know, because I've cold turk on them and cut them off. They show their true colors. give you one example. Boxing. I'd say I got to go to a boxing gym every day, or for the most part, every day, right? The modern Western woman will say, basically, well, what's in it for me? What am I getting out of it? I deserve to, I deserve to, basically, I'm the prize. Boxing isn't the prize. That's what the modern Western woman will say, right? Not understanding how difficult this sport is, not understanding how physical, mentally, and psychologically demanding the sport is, right? Whereas the traditional woman will say, well, do you need anything when you're going to the boxing gym? Do you need me to make you some food before you go? Do you need me to make you a shake before you go? Do you need me to get your equipment together before you go? That's what the traditional woman will say, right? So starve out the modern Western woman. Don't pay for another man's responsibility. It's not your responsibility to pay, okay? And don't let them guilt trip you into paying either. Let me how foolish I am. Leave your thoughts, leave your comments. Jot on.